Grit, hustle, passion. These are the things that are going to define your success as an e-commerce business owner. And they're more important than having deep pockets. Why? Because it's not the money in your bank that's going to wake you up out of bed every day. It's your hustle that will. So if you're looking to start a business, but maybe you're short on coin, then this video is going to be for you. Today, we're going to talk about 5 tips on starting an online business, even if you're short on cash. Okay, so tip number 1, look into grants. So here's a little secret. There is free money floating around out there. And the nice thing about grants is that unlike loans, grants don't actually have to be paid back. So how can one actually get their hands on some free money? So you're gonna wanna start by doing a Google search. So super easy, just type in grants for small businesses and then type in your location. How to get started with grants. Okay, so first you're gonna wanna look for grants that align with your mission. So key tip, you don't wanna be changing up your brand mission just because you're following the money. So what you can do is you can start by doing some research on grants that are available within your city, region, and country. Then, once you have a few shortlisted, you're gonna do a very thorough read through in the requirements, and then you're gonna find out which you're eligible for. Also, don't be afraid to actually pick up the phone and get to know the people behind the grant, kind of as if you were like dating or courting. Because you want to remember that the people that are behind the grants, they're still people too. So sometimes creating relationships can help you stand out from the crowd, and it could also help you both decide whether it would be a right fit. You might also hear that some foundations don't actually take unsolicited proposals, and if that's the case, that's fine too. But anyways, some grants that are available during the time of filming this video include seed funding to solve ocean challenges, funding for exporter marketing, boots to business, and I Fund Women. So these are just, some examples off the top of my head. I will leave links for you guys in the description box. But if you're needing more outside of those recommendations, this is a hot little tip here. So some federal governments, they actually have online directories, and you can basically just scroll through a ton of different options all on one page. Okay, so the next tip is to start crowdfunding. So if you're not familiar, crowdfunding is a way of raising capital through the support of your friends, your family, your customers, sometimes even complete strangers who are just, in love with your idea. So these supporters are also known as pledgers. And pledgers donate money to help your vision come to life. Or maybe they're really excited about a perk or a gift that you offer in exchange for their donation. Now, any type of business can use crowdfunding. So you can be in art, design, technology, music, whatever it is. But the point is that with the help of pledgers, you could potentially raise thousands of dollars to make an idea come to life, or maybe use it to fund your first round of production, for example. Okay, so how can you get started with crowdfunding? So first you're gonna wanna check out platforms like Kickstarter and Indiegogo. These are crowdfunding websites that allow you to set up a personalized page for your startup so that you can start soliciting money. So take a look at this company here. You can see how much they have raised so far right over here. And over here on the right, you can see that pledgers will receive a gift for donating money. This is how you incentivize people to participate. And over here, we can see that they do a really great job with videos, photos, and text. And this is all explaining, what their brand is about and the benefits of the product that they are selling. If you are interested in getting started with crowdfunding, the first thing that you're gonna wanna think about is what kinds of perks and gifts you'll be giving to your pledgers. And then you're gonna wanna start planning your explainer videos as well. You're gonna wanna think about your text, your photos, all of these things that will convince potential pledgers to invest in your product or idea. Consider selling digital products. So digital products are one of my favorite ways of starting a business because you could literally have $0 and be very successful at this. So when we think of digital products, we're thinking about ebooks, we're thinking about PDF guides, Photoshop brushes, and these are amazing because they only have to be made once and then they can be sold an infinite amount of times. So you could see how this could be very lucrative and it can be a great way to make passive income. So for example, Envato Elements, they are a company that sells digital products. They sell music, they sell fonts, and I actually just signed up for a membership with them recently, and I was able to download all the Premiere templates that I needed. It was super helpful and it was super useful. So say this is the route that you want to take. How do you actually get started with digital products? Well, you're gonna want to start by focusing on creating your library of digital products. As long as you know what people are actually needing and what's missing from the market, you're gonna be successful in this. And then once you have your library, you're gonna want to actually focus on marketing that library. So if you have little or no funds, consider starting a dropshipping business. So with dropshipping, starting a business is one of the most affordable routes. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's basically when a seller accepts a customer's order, but they don't keep any inventory. It's actually the manufacturer or the wholesaler that gets notified when an order is placed on your website, and then they're the ones that ship the goods directly to the customers. So you as the business owner, you're really only responsible for the marketing and the selling of that product, and you actually have very little, if not no control over the product quality, storage, inventory management, shipping, all that kind of stuff. So that's a bit of a refresher on what dropshipping is, but this could be really nice because if you have limited funds, this avenue could be perfect since you won't have the cost of maintaining a warehouse or a storefront, and of course, you won't be purchasing any inventory. So how can you get started? Well, you can start with a free trial on Shopify. If you're not familiar, Shopify is a subscription-based software that allows anyone, anywhere to sell products. So I will leave a link for you guys in the description box to get started on that. But it's really nice because you can basically get your online store set up in a matter of hours. And then once you're done that, you're gonna wanna head over to the Shopify App Store, and then you're gonna download an app called Oberlo. Oberlo is a platform that makes it really easy to find dropshipping products from suppliers all over the world, and it's super easy to add them to your own online store. So with Oberlo, you can access a variety of different products. You can find electronics, toys, cosmetics, and then all you have to do is find, what you want to sell. You import it into your store. It's literally a single click, and then that product will then be available to your customers. So if you are thinking about starting a dropshipping business, we have a 45-minute workshop, and that's gonna walk you through how to start and launch your dropshipping business. You're gonna learn how to source top-selling products from thousands of suppliers without paying for products up front, without worrying about inventory or shipping a single package yourself. So in this course, you're gonna learn how to get your first sale and beyond. So what you can do is you can register using the link in the description box, and that's gonna gain you access to this free on-demand webinar, and that's already helped over 100,000 entrepreneurs. So make sure you are clicking the link in the description box to get started with that. Don't be afraid to get resourceful. So if you're starting with $0 or you're starting with very little money, it's important to be resourceful. Why? Well, I think sometimes we get in our own way because we want to do things the right way, or we want to do it the way that we think things are traditionally done. But let me put it to you this way. The customer doesn't really care how you got to the final product. They care about the quality of the product. They care about that end quality product. They're not going to know whether the models in your photos are your childhood friends or whether you actually paid professional models to model for you. Or for example, they're not going to care whether you used a commercial oven to launch your bakery shop. They care that their brownies are delicious. So doing things the conventional way can sometimes be costly. So getting resourceful, finding workarounds, that can really help you and save you a pretty penny as you get your business started. So for me, for example, I run a makeup brand, and one of the products I sell are blushes. And I really loved these blush colors from one supplier, but I didn't like the packaging that they came in. So what I did was I ordered the blushes without the packaging, and then I sourced the packaging from another company. Now, this added some extra work because I had to actually manually glue in the blushes into this new packaging. It was very annoying, but my resourcefulness saved me money, and it also made me happier with the end product. I got exactly what I wanted. So basically, main takeaway is don't feel bound to how things should be done, but start thinking about how things could be done. So if you're starting a business and you're going to start marketing, start thinking about using organic marketing tactics. Now, I think the thing is that we hear a lot about e-commerce startups finding, huge success with Facebook ads or huge success with Google ads. And that's all fine and great, but not all of us have $5,000 to drop every month on ads, right? And that's why organic marketing tactics are really great for startups, and it's not gonna cost you a dime. So if you're not familiar, organic marketing refers to marketing activities that don't cost you anything. So think about like posting to Instagram or starting a blog or using Reddit, for example. So how do you get started with organic marketing? This is a bit of a tough question because each business is going to have platforms that they should be, completely focusing on and other platforms that they should probably just completely ignore. So if you have a certain audience, this is a rule of thumb, if you have a certain audience that you want to target, you're going to want to follow them to the platform that they are already spending their time on. So some off the top of my head, if you are in fashion, you're probably going to want to spend your time marketing on TikTok, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube because those platforms are highly visual. If you're in tech, think about blogging, Reddit, YouTube, especially because long-form content will give you the opportunity to go through features and full explanations. If you're in home goods, think about Pinterest, think about digital publications, think about all the places where design lovers spend their time. I probably could go on and on with all the different industries, but hopefully you get the point. Basically, you just want to think about where your audience are spending their time and what would be the appropriate type of content for you to create, and then just go from there. Now, the key with organic marketing is to be consistent. Now, if you're not seeing traction at the beginning, that's totally normal. Just keep pushing and you will find that your hard work will pay off in the long run. If you want to start an online business, but maybe you're not sure what to sell and you need help finding a product, make sure that you're checking out our free 40-minute webinar. That's going to teach you how to find a winning product idea, how to validate your idea, and how to get started. So just click the link in the description box to get started with the free training now. Okay, it's comment time. So I'm actually going to take a look at some of the viewer comments and I'm just going to answer a few of you guys on the spot. So Ashley Klein, she commented, "Thank you for such insightful tips. Can't wait to start testing these tips over the next month. We just launched our sustainable fashion line at acalaclothing.com. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And she launched her sustainable fashion line and I guess she wants us to take a peek at it. So we're going to do that right now. Let's head over there. Okay, amazing. So for any of you guys that are looking to launch a Shopify store, make sure that you're heading over to the site because this is how to do it. She has exceptional branding. She has professional looking photos. She does have a super smooth user experience, and a lot of that is attributed to the fact that she is using Shopify, of course. She has very detailed product information on the product pages. This is literally perfect. I just want to say good job, Ashley. You are killing it. All right, let's move on to the next comment. Okay, Sonic Boom says, "Thanks, Katie Holmes." You're welcome, Sonic Boom. And lastly, David Clank says, "Great video. I sent this to my wife. Thank you, Michelle." Honestly, thank you, Mr. Clank, for tuning in, and thank you so much for sharing it with your friends and family. Guys, if you do have friends that are looking to start a business and you know that this video will be helpful to them, make sure that you are sending this video along. But yeah, pull a David Clank, share this video with them. If you thought that this video was helpful, if it's like no other video you've ever seen before, make sure that you're hitting the thumbs up button. That really helps our channel. It helps our community grow. And also make sure that you're leaving a comment in the comment section, just letting me know what you guys want to see next, because I find that if we're really hitting what you guys want to see, we're just helping you. That's what this channel is here for. So make sure you're doing that, and don't forget to hit subscribe as well as the notification bell so that you're not missing out on any future videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.